Since 1969, when the British Army stepped in to separate the Bee Specials and the people of the Bogside, the Royal Ulster Constabulary has held no sway here. In a tight nationalist community where the people feel they have no reason to love the police, they come in only with army protection. After 5 years of this situation, Bogsiders feel there's no reason to see their area breaking down into anarchy, but the Bogside Community Association have decided it's time to give the community a choice between a community policing service based on sympathy and understanding rather than punishment, and also to ask them whether they want a return of the police. Well, to see whether a return of the RUC was likely, I asked Eamon Deane, organiser of the Bogside Community Association, to tell me about the security situation as it exists now.
The situation is that we have no policing in effect. Other than that, the RUC come in here with guns and so forth and armoured cars of the British Army to deliver summonses for political offences. And that's it. There's effectively no policing in the area.
Well, are local people anxious about that? Are they calling for some sort of police force?
We're not necessarily saying that people are anxious about it. We think that there is a feeling of unease among certain people. Certainly some of the older residents feel uneasy. Of course, one point that has to be made very clearly is that this is an area where there has been over the years very little or no crime. In fact, so much so that pre-69 there was an RUC station here which closed down because there was no crime to deal with.
So there haven't been any signs of lawlessness?
No, we're not in a state of anarchy, and this is no Wild West town. I mean, life is perfectly normal here. But what we're saying is there is a feeling of unease, and people may or may not want to have a community policing service. And we're asking the question, do you? If they say they do, then we'll ask the further question, do you want the BCA to provide it? If they say they do, then we'll have to provide it.
Well, do you ever see a time when the RUC will become acceptable to the people of the Bogside?
That's the question, I suppose, one of the crunch questions in the Northern Ireland politics at the moment. And nobody has any answer to it. Other than that, there does not seem to be any way out of it. And we're saying that there's a time that now we're faced in this vacuum situation that we need to experiment. And here's an opportunity to experiment. Let's give this a try.